How's everybody doing out there? This is The Awakening. Stop trying to please the world. You are fighting a futile battle. You're kicking against the goads the same as Saul was, who later became Paul, one of the greatest Christian missionaries and speakers and teachers of Christianity. But before, he was trying to please the world, who hated Christians, who hated the revelation of the living God, who told them that they had to do, that doing what was right was what was important. Getting your heart right and having a personal relationship with the living God was the only way that you can be saved and the only way into heaven. And Jesus Christ came to earth. The spirit of the living God was placed in a woman, and he came to earth to give you that message. He died, he did many miracles on the earth, died and rose again and ascended to heaven. These things were revealed to the earth, were revealed to Paul, but he didn't want to hear that because the world didn't want to hear that. The world rejects Jesus Christ to this day because he calls you to personal autonomy. This is the only way to heaven. Christianity makes very polarizing claims that separates them from all other religions. No one can claim to go any other way or have any other way into heaven or any back door or you can't say it's because of my deeds or I'm better than you, I done this. No, we all have to meet the same criteria, and we all can have a personal relationship at this point with Jesus Christ, Gentile, Jew, and Hebrew Israelite alike. So I want to get into this message. Stop following the world. Stop trying to please the world, because the joke's on you. The world's love is fickle. You've heard sayings. I've heard sayings from like hip hop sayings where they'll be like, the more haters that I have, the better. My haters motivate me. Keep giving me haters because that give me more motivation. I heard women artists saying that I need more haters because that motivate me. So the more people that hate you, that's what you're using to fuel and motivate you. Okay, well, I can understand that. That's a mechanism that God puts into human beings. That's a mechanism that God puts into his creation because you're not geared to please the world, even though on the surface level, that's what you want to do because that's the easy thing to do. That's the comfortable thing to do. You understand? To go along with it, to go along with what the masses want, no matter how debaucherous, no matter how unfair, no matter how it hurts someone else that's not us directly. But we try to lie to ourselves and make up excuses. The Lord has told you, what does it benefit a man to gain the world and lose his own soul? What benefit is that? That's where the joke is on you. Don't let Satan play you all your life. I don't just do these videos to waste my time. People don't just go out and preach the gospel, use their hard-earned time, and tell you these things to waste time. If you don't believe me, you can speak and have a personal, I just said this in the beginning, you can have a personal relationship with God yourself, but you don't want to do those things required to attain that, because once you do that, then you have to follow the Lord. Then you'll know better. But you don't want to know better. People keep themselves in the ignorant state subconsciously because they don't really want to move forward with the next level. They have weak spirits. But I'm here to tell you, man, you need to strengthen your spirit right now before and quit being played by Satan before it's too late. Don't you want to know more of the truth? Don't you want truth to be revealed to you before you die? We're not just wasting time telling you that this is possible. In the Bible, in this book right here, there's been many men who've told you, they've gave you the lineage of the earth. Jesus Christ came to earth and told you what to do. He revealed to you hidden things. There is a heaven and a hell. There is a Satan, an adversary. There was a war in heaven. You are a creation. You aren't just some happenstance being. This earth the universe didn't just pop out of nowhere. It had a beginning, and God was at that beginning. This powerful being, the creator, was there. That's all there is. That's what we have. And that's a lot. Your spirit, your true self, your spirit is more power, is your true self. It's eternal. It has a lot of power. Have you seen Dragon Ball Z? Some of us weren't remembering our dreams, but everybody dreams. Everybody is traveling. Spirit is traveling, and you're dreaming. But not everyone remembers those things. Once you train your spirit and get a relationship with Christ Jesus, you can start to train your spirit, and you'll understand what dreams are, and you'll start to remember yours. But right now, some of the worst things you could be doing in your dreams and in the spirit realm, and you don't even know. But subconsciously, Satan is implanting things in your mind, but you don't even understand that. You don't know that. But that's how it's easy for, kids to be confused, to wake up and be like, I'm a boy, or are you to have these vile affections. You were dreaming about that last night. Like Satan was literally like molesting you, but you didn't even understand because you don't remember your dreams. Okay? See, but this is the thing that the world doesn't want to know. It's like being in the Matrix. When Morpheus revealed the real world to Neo, he didn't tell the people what the real world looked like when he was taking them out of the Matrix. He didn't tell them the war that they was fighting behind the scenes. He didn't tell them that it was a war zone. Basically, they were being hunted. They didn't understand that. They didn't understand it at first. But Morpheus still set them free. So in reality, their true selves could be free. They could free their children, their family. They would truly be free from what is the Matrix. But it's easy, like the villain, there's easy to stay in the Matrix and follow the world and just be like, duh. You play smart, but you really just you're a follower, and you really just want to go and follow by. This is how the Hebrew Israelites were. This is exactly how they were. You got the elections coming up. The same song and dance. Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a zombie. He's not a. Well, what I'm saying is, I pray for the man. Hopefully, he can live out the rest of his older age and finding Christ and doing things for Christ, man. I mean, I don't know him like that, but what I can tell, the man does not need to be. No one in their right mind should be following behind him. But this is the world, man. These two old men, two old Caucasian men talking, doing the same song and dance. And the people in the country become worse and worse because they're not godly leaders. You need to be following godly leaders. Look in the book of Judges. The people have always wanted to have a leader appointed to them. In the book of Samuel, they wanted Saul appointed to them. They wanted a leader like all the other nations. Saul was raised up to lead, and look at what he did. This is what kings and people appointed over you do. They're gonna send your daughters to war, send your sons to war. They was talking about bringing back the draft in America. This is what they're gonna take your resources and fill they stockyards with it and military. That's what they're gonna do. But see, the only time perfect governance is gonna be on the earth is when Jesus Christ comes back. But following the world, what is really the point? You think that it's going to get you money, fame, but at the end of the day, you end up drained. You end up drained. When you go out and look at these artists, man, their demeanors are becoming dark because they have to keep up with what the world is doing. Look at the men. Look at the men in the hip hop community. They have to keep doing effeminate things in order to make it, or in order to get to another level. They paint grown men 30 plus years old are painting their nails, wearing women's articles of women's clothing. Why do you think they're doing that? Strong black men, the chosen people of God, the true Israelites on the earth, the true Jews on the earth. They even have some of them following the world, dressing effeminate, acting effeminate, smoozing around with people who they know are of the world just to get ahead. And the Lord again says, what does it benefit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You getting old, you getting older, and you constantly trying to reinvent yourself for the world. And what happens is that you have younger people, you have young people leading older people. This is an abomination. Because you should have wisdom is a gift from God. Wisdom should always lead out. But in the world, the younger people will come in and lead the old. You understand? That's the reverse. That's not of God. The elders are supposed to lead and give you advice, and you're supposed to take that advice. But again, people worried about this election and what's going on in the world. None of that, bro. You could vote till you blue in the face. You could go put your ballot in for whoever you want. But God is on the throne. And us as true believers, we ought to let God lead us. Jesus Christ told the Pharisees and all of the people in his congregation to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, meaning give him whatever is on the coins and all of that, the taxes, man. Pay your taxes, give them what they, we already gonna be blessed by God because we're hard workers. We work for God, and if you working hard, even the Lord says even the pastor should be paid. People who do the work for the Lord should be paid. You look all through the Bible, in the book of Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, when they were divvying up all of the land and when they went to war, sometimes there were spoils taken. The men who went to war weren't paid for their services, is what I'm saying. The people who worked in the temple, the Levites, the people who did anything in the temple work, they were paid and given offerings and given things. Look at the king. Look at Solomon, King Solomon. King Solomon was the richest man who ever lived, or one of them. This man he was rich, like he had stuff in abundance. So God is not going to leave you broke and destitute, but give Caesar what's Caesar's. Like, give to him, and don't worry, give to Joe Biden what's Joe Biden's, give to the government what's the government's, but they don't own you. And the government really, they are out of hand. We know they rob us daily. We know that they're basically ran on a satanic system, but it started it was rooted in godliness. It was rooted in God we trust. But America has abandoned her first love and turned on the Lord, and we've seen that. So why follow the world, man? The world will turn on you. Look at celebrities. With celebrities, fans are fickle. Fans are more like, you don't want super fans and stands. Yes, sure, they'll buy your stuff, and sure, they'll put some money in your pocket, but they also turn on you at the drop of a hat like this, and they might end up doing something to you like Selena.